real quick. You both stop real quick. Double check the steering wheel.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Sachsenring, one of the most distinctive and demanding circuits in Europe, where tonight the field takes on a lap built around rhythm, elevation, and relentless cornering. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is going to be an Apex Motor Club sponsored event tonight. Check out Apex Motor Club for all your sim racing needs. Tonight we race at Sachsenring before we head to Charlotte for the season finale here for the GR86 Cup Series, brought to you by West Coast Sim Racing, streamed live on V-Speed. And of course, I'm your host, Sagar Baku, taking you from green to checkered flag on behalf of V-Speed. Thank you very much for joining us again. Let's take a look at the championship standings. Jeremy Fletcher with 187 in front of Stone Colby with 160. Nico Colby with 152. Slater with 105. 102 for Semio. Edwin Onofre with 95. Connor T. Cunningham with 77. Joe Rainey with 75. Alex Andre with 70. Brandon Birch with 63. And that's going to round out all of our top 10. And let's head trackside without any further delay, folks, as we're getting ready to rumble. Fletcher leads Colby, Onofre, Colby, Samayoa, Cunningham, Johnson, Birch, Tanagretta, Rainey, Juarez. In that order, it'll be a good run for Fletcher down towards turn one, but he's going super defensive down and towards the first corner of Quackenbecker Curve. And now it'll be tight through Coca-Cola, and Castrol Omega, side by side between the 25 and who is that? The number 97 of Marvin Semioa further back. Up ahead, the battle for the lead continues to rage on as Nico Colby chases down Jeremy Fletcher for P1. We saw the young gun get his elbows out previously in the Porsche Cups. Well, let's see if he can do it again, this time in the home car of Jeremy Fletcher, the GR86. Drivers using all of the track width that they bought and paid for. Going wide is going to be the 52 of Stone Colby as he goes wheel to wheel with the 25 right here, right now. '97 of Samayoa gets the grease out as well and gets one done on Slater Colby, leveraging that position. Let's take a look here as the 22 of Jeremy Fletcher is under attack around the outside, tries to go the 16. It's a long way around the outside at Coca-Cola curve. The 52 takes advantage of the inside run and the slipstream there from Jeremy Fletcher, who hops over the curves coming down into Castrol Omega. Whoa, no. That'll be Warren Johnson spinning around in the background as he hopped over the curb, getting on the loud pedal, looks like. Inside door is ajar for the number 16. That'll be Nico Colby challenging through. Moonlight Dancer here in the chat to cheer on Marvin Samayoa, who's sitting patiently back in P4, waiting for his opportunity to strike. On board with Samayoa, who might have the best seat in the house to the battling GR86s ahead. He gets to see them fan out every which way. There goes Colby on Fletcher up the hill. There goes a loose number 52. That will be Stone Colby losing out, and Marvin Samayoa is going to take full-fledged advantage of the poor run from the 52, and he's going to get there alongside before we get down to Coca-Cola. Now Fletcher, though, up ahead, trying to do something similar, this time to Nico Colby. The outside line stays the outside all the way down into Omega, so it's a really long run, and you have to stay committed to it and not get bumped out wide like the 16 did to the 22 there. And we're gonna go 3 abreast up the hill out of Omega, and now into Coca-Cola curve, Carthalion. It'll be nose to tail as the 22 gets a hit from the 16. Fletcher barely ahead of Nico Colby. Side by side, further back, the 25 gets a wheel well along the inside of the 16. There's enough room there to stick a credit card along the inside, potentially a GR86 if you're Stone Colby in the 52 trying to find a way through the duo ahead. Could be eager enough to try to fit in, but there it is. He's gonna try to squeeze in and does so successfully. Gets ahead of Nico Colby, who falls back to P5 with a blink of an eye. That happens. Looking further back, it's Connor T. Cunningham, the 502, chasing down the pack of Bumblebees up ahead. There's the 16 duking it out with Samayoa in the 4th and 5th position for now. Samayoa not content with where he fell so far. With a track length of 2.281 miles or 3.671 kilometers, Sachsenring has hosted 13 corners, and it's one of the most left-heavy tracks in racing. With 10 left corners and only 3 to the right. Means that the drivers are definitely going to be loading up one side of the tires more than the other. Speaking of loading up, There's the 22 battling with the 25 and the 52, the 16. All 2x2 coming out of the final corner. Jeremy Fletcher leads Slater Colby. Stone in the background with Nico Colby. Get back up to where he thinks he belongs. Up at the top spot, but 3 abreast going down and towards turn 1 isn't going to help anybody's cause. But here at West Coast Sim Racing, we're able to pull moves like that off. Battling 52 and the number 16, but a big checkup there from the cars up ahead slows down everybody. Now, it'll be Slater Colby into the lead of the race in front of Jeremy Fletcher. But for how long will that action last? Probably for the rest of the race, because Jeremy Fletcher has been known to be a little bit aggressive when it comes down to fighting for positions. Speaking of aggressive, that's an aggressive move from further back. Marvin Samayoa came from downtown to send it up the inside and was able to get up into P3. Further back, there was a touch, a spin, but spun back around was the number 16 of Nico Colby by the looks of it. Right now, it'll be Slater Colby, Jeremy Fletcher, Marvin Samayoa, Brandon Birch, Nico Colby, Connor T. Cunningham, and then Stone Colby. In 7th place, Edwin Onofre down in 8th, Warren Johnson down and out in 9th, Tenegretta in 10th, Cole Dessereau in 11th, and Joe Rainey in 12th position. But remember, we do have a competition caution coming out, so the drivers will have another opportunity to catch back up and perhaps shake things up a little bit. We'll take a look at the race analysis here. Race length of 45 minutes, pit road speed of 50 kilometers per hour, around 38 freedom units for us here in the United States. Unlimited tire sets available. We do have the 1 competition caution coming out at the halfway point of the race. 100% fuel and iRacing open setups. In the background, the cheers for Marvin Samayoa sure have been working these past couple of weeks, because he's had a couple of good finishes, to be honest with you. He's up into 3rd position now and sitting right in the wake of the dirty air behind Fletcher and Slater Colby. Fletcher advances his way up into P1. Right now, that's no stranger to Fletcher, but we know he likes to defend hard, fair, and control the field behind, so expect to see some argy-bargy elbows out racing coming out from Samayoa and Slater Colby throughout the next couple of laps. Looking further back, the young Nico Colby in the number 16 has Brandon Birch to contend with for now, and was able to get by him for just a blink of an eye of an opportunity that presented itself. He took advantage and it was through, done and dusted. Nico Colby back up in the 4th position and probably waiting for the race restart to pounce, because he's a long way back from Marvin Samayoa, 2 seconds right now, and 2.7 back from the leader. Up up ahead at Samayoa right now, on board with him as we come through the first sector. Down through Coca-Cola, in through Castrol Omega. Up the hill and out of Sterncal, which leads us down into a next series of all left-handers. It's basically a snail shell. You keep on turning left, out and out and out of Omega. Until you get down to the kink, then it's more left turns at the Soxen curve, the Glockenbeck curve. Marvin Samayoa revving out his GR86 Cup. He chases down Slater Colby. The gap almost 1 second, but the question still lies: has he perhaps been consuming a bit too much of his tires this early on? And I'm speaking of Jeremy Fletcher right now, because he's been commanding this race and trying to pull away with a gap at this point in time. But he's got to know that there's a caution coming out. Perhaps he's considering that he can recool the tires down during the caution, get them back up to temperature, working at a good rate of speed. So Jeremy Fletcher probably knows more than most about these GR86 and how they are best driven. Speaking of best driven, there's a move from Colby on Fletcher, but it was just a look. That's all it was, because he was too far back to make anything happen. Fletcher, Colby, Samayoa, the trio in the lead of the race. Going into the halfway point of this event, competition caution will come out and theoretically neutralize the field as a little bit of pocket sand is kicked up from the cars behind. Fletcher goes extremely defensive down to the inside line, then removes, or goes back, to the racing line. Loses a lot of time in that effort, and this might open the door for Colby. Around the outside at Coca-Cola, we know and have seen, is a long, treacherous run, and you stay on the outside run for a long time, but that's not Colby's plan, as he goes for a switchback to the inside at Omega, but it doesn't seem to work out as Fletcher goes extremely defensive yet again. Here's where the switchback can be executed at the bottom of the key at Omega. If you can get a switchback back to the left-hand side for the exit of Sternkel, I think that's where you want to be. On the inside run out of Sternkel, on the inside for all of these left-hand corners, and you can force your opponent just a little bit wider than you. And their speed, if they're matching, well, just be a little further back every single step of the way. Fletcher defensive again, coming out of the final corner. Colby trails by just a tenth. Now will he go back to the inside line? Marvin Samayoa stays on the optimum line, tries to go around everybody, but stays on the optimum line to fall in single file for Coca-Cola curve. Down the hill through the S's into Castrol. Trio line astern right now. On board with Colby. To the back of the JFR number 22. chasing down Fletcher steadfast. But what is he capable of producing on the racetrack? Fletcher goes a little bit wide there, and it looks like Colby has to back out just a smidgen. I think Colby backed out just out of respect there, as Fletcher bobs and weaves again, going defensive. This is definitely going to hurt his run, but it drags Colby into the kitty litter. I think that's exactly what he was trying to do, was just drag Slater into a mistake. Slater tries to go down to the inside line, but Fletcher has that covered off. All the way down to the grass is where Fletcher defends until we go to the racing line. 25 switched it back. 22 on the lead. 27:50 on the clock, folks. We still have plenty more racing action to come. This is only half of the grid. We still have the competition caution to bunch them back up. Get ready to rumble for round 2 here for West Coast Sim Racing GR86 Cup. Looking back at Fletcher to Colby. He tries to get a nose there up the inside on Fletcher, but it just doesn't work out that way. Fletcher covered it off fairly well. Not too aggressive, not too defensive. Fletcher continues to bob and weave to the defensive runs, but has he gone too far at this point in time? Because he looks compromised coming in towards turn 1. The 25 of Colby is ahead, but he's not late enough on the brakes as the 22 pushes him deep and wide, and Marvin Semioa now has an opportunity to get into the lead of the race, into the inside at Omega Castrol. He needs a switchback here to save his life. The 97 can go from P3 to P1 on lap number 13. It may not be lucky for some, but it could be one for Semioa. One, two, three, Fletcher, Semioa, Colby now. As we take a look at the gap, Colby to the inside, Slater slingshots himself up the inside just as the competition caution comes out. And I think that position wasn't done yet. Goes back the way of Semioa. Whew. What a start to this race. Is looks like the 16 of Nico Colby spins out coming out of the final corner. Jeremy Fletcher leads Marvin Semioa, Slater Colby in third, Stone Colby in fourth, Brandon Birch in fifth, Nico Colby in sixth, Connor T. Cunningham in seventh, Edwin Onofre in eighth, Warren Johnson in ninth, Michael Tanagretta in 10th, Cole Desrow in 11th, and Joe Rainey rounding out the 12 participants tonight. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back.
trade for bananas?
Bananas? No thanks. Are you tired of lowball offers and no shows? Here at VehicleBuyers.com, we make it fast and easy to sell your vehicle. Enter your vehicle information into our website and receive an offer for your vehicle. Our competitive offers ensure that you get the best deal possible. If you're ready to sell your vehicle, click the link below.
VehicleBuyers.com. Visit us today. Having trouble outfoxing the deals and the competition getting you all flustered? Time to be sly and visit OverstockVehicles.com. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. OverstockVehicles.com. Visit us today.
Real quick, you both stop the real quick done. Number 10 to steering wheel.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish! Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
And we are back, folks. Behind the official iRacing pace car, the drivers get gridded up 2x2 Noah's Ark formation and get ready to rumble. Although we are behind, or presumably behind, the iRacing safety car, I'm not seeing where that safety car is. Oh, we were waiting for the rest of the field to catch up, excuse me. As Onofre and Rainey catch up. Here we go, Semioa alongside Jeremy Fletcher. I believe this might be the first time. So let's see what Semioa can do from P2 on the grid. Green, green, green is the flag color from Barney the Flagman. Side by side, 2x2 down and towards turn one. A big, nice push to the 97 to give him a helping hand. Going down and towards turn one from the 52 of Stone Colby. Semioa slots back in behind around the outside at Coca-Cola, but he's going to be patient because he wants to be there going up the hill through Omega, but slips back down into third, unfortunately. Up goes the 16 of Nico Colby past Brandon Birch. Settling down now are the drivers going into the final 18 minutes of this event. So far, Jeremy Fletcher has not been able to pull away, as the gap seemingly evaporates before our very own eyes. The Copeland Motorsports driver definitely under attack from behind. The number 25 chasing down the 22 has tried to get this pinch done before, but hasn't been successful. A little bit of drag on the brakes from Fletcher, I think, to hamper the run from Colby behind. We'll have to ask him about that during the driver's interview and see what that was about. Looking further back, Samayoa dukes it out with the 52 of Colby, but he's in a Colby bread sandwich right now because he's got Colby in front and Colby to the back and a pickle in between. The drivers behind Michael Tanagretta, Edwin Onofre, and Joe Rainey. Marvin Samayoa falls back to the clutches of Connor T. Cunningham and Brandon Birch, as he must have made a mistake that left him prey to attack from the duo behind Birch and Cunningham. Joe Rainey under attack as well from, that looks like, Tanagretta and Edwin Onofre. Ahead, this is the battle with Colby and Fletcher. There it is, the defense from Fletcher. The single move defense comes back across. No, Colby is there. A little bit wide is Fletcher. Now Slater can attack to the inside line, going into the final corner, but can't quite get there to secure it. There's the 52 trying to find a way through on everybody, but it'll be Slater that occupies the real estate in front of Stone, so he can't get through. Jeremy Fletcher started in first, leads us for 14 of the 19 laps thus far, and will continue to push that number higher and higher. Taking a look at the weather The temperature of the track, mostly cloudy skies, has stayed cool at 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Looking further back, the Apex Motor Club cars duking it out in defense. Red one belonging to Slater, the blue and black one to Stone. Nico Colby further back in the Copeland Motorsports number 16. Switchback for the 52. Can't quite get there, but definitely did scare the 25 of Slater into a slight mistake. So now an opportunity presents itself here and now on the number 16, who's managed to close down the gap on the cars ahead. Flashy of the headlights. It looks like Nico Colby not happy with that. Flashing of the headlights from Nico Colby into the rearview mirror of Stone. Just won't let up about it. 52 goes to the inside on the 25, and I think that's what he was trying to communicate this entire time. You better attack or else I will. And here we go, out of the final corner. The 16 gets run out to the gravel, and this is going to set him up perfectly for the inside run down towards the first corner. This Copeland Motorsports driver dukes it out with the Apex Motor Club cars, but he's got 3 of them and only 1 of him. 16 goes through on the 52 with a little bit of help from the number 36 of Birch from behind. Jeremy Fletcher pulls out nearly a 1.9 second gap right now to the cars around him, and he continues to pull out that gap on Slater Colby. Edwin Onofre, the driver we haven't mentioned much of tonight, in a bit of a battle with Joe Rainey. Lots of gravel kicked up across the track. Take a look up ahead as Nico Colby is chased down by Stone and Birch. Down and towards Coca-Cola curve. It looks like Slater has caught up to Jeremy Fletcher, so the battle for the lead isn't quite over yet, as potentially Fletcher's tires fade away. Further back, Stone Colby dukes it out with the 16 of Nico Colby. The duel begins here, going into the final 9 minutes between them. The Pickles badge number 97 of Marvin Samayoa sits just 2/10 back from Brandon Birch, the number 36. Here and now, Birch gives a little help to the 52 ahead. 16, all's worse for wear. stretch. It's going to be Nico Colby, Brandon Birch, and Marvin Samayoa down in towards turn 1. And the kiss there to Marvin Samayoa sends him down into P7 as he tries to get the car spun up and back in the right direction. Moonlight Dancer in chat's definitely going to be upset about that one. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Stone currently leads Nico Colby and Birch, who have been patiently biding his time all race long. Nico Colby trying to do whatever he can to this GR86 machinery. Get an advantageous run on the number 52, but Stone, I think, has been conserving his tires throughout this race. Big gaps have formed here as Fletcher leads Slater by 1.1 seconds. And Slater back to Stone 1.2 seconds, from the leader. And then from Slater to Stone, 2.8 seconds there. Looking back now, this is the Colby train of Slater, Stone, and Nico. Disturbance in the force as Birch throws his elbows out, coming out of the penultimate corner, Soxon Curve. Now he's up in P4. Let's see what Nico Colby can do to get back at Birch. Will it be an attack going down into turn 1? I don't think so. But he's going to have to mount an attack sooner rather than later as we go into the final 5. Here comes the charging run from Birch on Stone Colby. He keeps on garnishing momentum on the 52. Now it's time to use it to your advantage. Interesting to see that Jeremy Fletcher didn't do what he typically does in these races. As he likes to say, he bunches up the field and forces some action out between the drivers. This time, he pulls away a nearly 3-second gap as we head on the third to last lap. A little bit of a dummy sold there from the number 36 onto the 52. Birch and Colby are no longer friends, although they are similarly badged cars, both coming from the Apex Motor Club. no, there is a big moment there. I think that was for Connor T. Cunningham, and it was, but he was able to recover and get the car pointed back in the right direction. Number 502 is in 6th position right now. Western front, going to the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That just means that we'll get this lap plus one more as the leaders cross the line with just under 3 minutes to go. Jeremy Fletcher still holds on to the fastest lap of the race, a 1:29.852. .36 in the 52, definitely no longer friends as Birch continues to charge on his fellow Motorsport Club friend. Coming out of Saxon Curve into the final corner, up the hill for the penultimate time. This is going to be Birch's final attempt, going down and towards turn one. Birch goes out to the optimum line, and 52 defends hard but fair with one defensive move. Now, the 36 tries to get there but can't quite do so. The inside here goes to the outside potentially, but it will be occupied by Slater and Stone. Last lap here. Final attempt to make and mount any attack. And it will be Jeremy Fletcher who's gonna take the win tonight. Getting to the final corner for the final time. Jeremy Fletcher has put on a clinic for us in the GR86, showed us how it was done. He takes the win, the number 22 Copeland Motorsports driver, Jeremy Fletcher. Slater Colby in P2. Birch falls back to P5 as Stone, Nico, then Birch finish in that order. Connor T. Cunningham, Joe Rainey, Edwin Onofre, Michael Tannegretta, Cole Desereau, Marvin Samayoa, and Warren Johnson. And there's your running order, folks, for the finish. It was Fletcher, then Colby Train, of Slater, Stone, then Nico, Birch, Connor T. Cunningham, Joe Rainey, Edwin Onofre, Michael Tannegretta, Cole Desereau, Marvin Samayoa, Warren Johnson, and Colton Juarez. And as we get the drivers pulled in and ready to get interviewed, we reflect for just a few moments on this tremendous race that we had, but it looks like everybody is ready for their interviews. Let's talk to our race winner first. This time it's going to be Jeremy Fletcher, who started first, led us for 24 laps. Fletcher, this was a little bit of a different style than what you typically like to showcase for us, at least in the second half of the race. It seems like you pulled out all the stops and really unleashed all of your potential.
Yeah, I think I definitely nailed it. Setup-wise, I think everybody started to fall off, and I could match my fast lap, all the way throughout. So definitely didn't want to take risks. The last race, I was limited by, incidents, so didn't want that problem. Finished up with a whole bunch to spare and a nice gap behind.
Absolutely. I mean, the only way to describe it is you put on a clinic tonight. What was it that really drove you to this perfect drive, getting a nearly 3-second lead at the end of it? Was it the setup? Was it practice? What does it come down to?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was up to like 5 on the last lap before I started, drifting around, and it's really just consistency. You get into the flow state and really jive with the track and the cars running, everything put together. It's hard to get beat when you're like that. But also, the last race, Nico had to say his piece, so I had to make sure he wasn't on the box or within the 10-second window of me.
Right on, Fletcher. Thank you very much for sharing. Now, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the win tonight?
Whole JFR Esports crew, Cope Motorsports, Colby and Rainey family, you for the broadcast, Warren for putting on this league, and everyone that comes in week in, week out, does these races, and hopefully I can get this championship wrapped up.
Absolutely. Fletcher, you've got a good lead in the championship as we head down to Charlotte. Any hopes and dreams going into the finale?
Stone crashes, Slater crashes, and I win.
Wouldn't that be too easy for you?
Oh, also Nico for being a good boy for finishing 4th. That's important too.
Oh, also very important. Yes. Thank you, Jeremy. Have a great night, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Up next is going to be Slater Colby, who had a hard-fought battle to get to the checkered flag. Slater, you're able to pull it together down at the end of the day. The number 25 came home in second place. Talk to us about your battle with Fletcher and, with just about the rest of the field while you're at it.
Yeah, I was kind of ping-ponging between the top 5 for quite a few of those beginning laps, but then me and Jeremy were able to build a little bit of a gap and kind of battle each other, and I got into the lead, and then he got into the lead, and kind of just going back and forth. He's really good at guarding, so it makes it a little tough, but yeah, I mean, my tires just fell off at the end of the race, so he definitely had a better setup for when the tires started going, but yeah, I mean, I can't complain. Didn't have a very good qualifying, so able to bring it home in P2 after the last weeks of getting cleaned out and finishing in the back of the pack when I was up front. So I guess I'll take the points and move on to the final round.
Absolutely. And next season, just on the horizon, better hopes or prospects for that? Or do you plan on returning for the GR86 Cup Series when that kicks off?
Yeah, I'll be here for next GR season for sure. I like it. I think we have a really good group of guys, and the pace is getting pretty quick up front. So we just got to get, a bigger turnout every week. People kind of fall off. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be here for the GR season.
Yeah, guys and girls. We can't exclude Nico while we're here, of course.
That's true. Sorry.
Sorry, Nico. Had to do it, brother. We love you. If we didn't care, we wouldn't say anything. But anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the P2 tonight, Slater?
Yeah, vehiclebuyers.com, Overstock Vehicles, friends and family at home watching. Jeremy for the non-good tips per usual, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right on. Thank you very much, Slater. Sorry, what was that?
Said lucky I kept him that close.
Mm-hmm.
I love the banter here. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you very much, Slater. Really appreciate you. Have a great night, brother.
You too. Thank you.
Let's talk to Stone Colby next. started in third, didn't lead us for a single lap, and you also ping-ponged around not only amongst the top 5, but further down the order as well. Talk to us about that recovery drive in the number 52.
Yeah, man, that was just rough. I didn't give myself enough time to practice, and I didn't even know what track we were running. But I mean, I wasn't going to be in the 29s regardless, but at least figuring out a better setup that would have lasted me for the duration of that race. It got rough, but I mean, all in all, it was fun. I mean, still finished on the podium, and I definitely need a little bit of a miracle for the last race.
I think a couple of drivers could use a miracle, or something just happens to Jeremy Fletcher. We bust out those kneecaps or something so he doesn't show up for the last race, maybe.
Yeah, I might just fly out and go cut the.
You cut out there. What did you say? What are we gonna cut out? His
Dude,
internet?
I'm talking shit about cutting out his internet. My internet's cutting out. Great.
That's genuine karma for you. That's genuine karma for you. But Stone, it was a heck of a show that you guys put on tonight. How was the flow of Sachsenring in the GR86s? It seemed a little bit different than the normal flow that we would see us driving around some of the other tracks, and it's definitely going to be different than Charlotte going into next week.
Yeah, I mean the flow is actually pretty good. It's just more of, when you're bumper to bumper with people, it's like you're more battling on like if somebody goes into a corner and their fronts are just pushing.
Yeah.
And it's, you kind of try to predict that a little bit. The corners make, pretty decent opportunities to kind of high-low somebody. And then obviously the straights and, the wide open corners, there's a lot of draft opportunity, but like going around that sweeping left-hander into the right down the straight, it's like you can't see a damn thing when you're on somebody's bumper. But I mean, other than that, it was a pretty good racing track. I was actually pretty surprised, but you're kind of just like, at least for me, I was just battling with setup wise. I was having to get on the brakes a little early to get the car to turn, and I was getting caught by people in certain sections, and then other sections I was kind of gapping them a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a tough one for sure.
Yeah, it looked like it was a tough one out there. Well, Stone, anybody you'd like to shout out or thank on the podium tonight?
You for broadcasting as always, Warren for putting on the league, Overstock Vehicles, VehicleBuyers.com, and friends and family for watching.
Right on. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, Stone. And last but not least, it looks like we've got Warren Johnson, who's apparently hanging out in pit lane at this point in time. Warren, what's going on, buddy? How's your race?
It's horrible. No, it was fine. I had an unfortunate spin both in the last turn, and that just happens. So that was a tough track. I think that track's really fun, but it was definitely tough, and I was glad to test the skills of the guys. Next week's not much easier either with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Then we got what do we got for Thursday? Portimao. That's going to be a good one for the Porsches coming up, and then Road Atlanta. That's going to be a shit show for sure.
Yeah, so, it'll be exciting.
Lots of exciting things going on in the league. But anyways, yeah, thanks for broadcasting, man. I hope that was an exciting one for you. And I know not as many people were here that time, probably because of the track difficulty. But I hope it was a good race for you.
It was a good race as always, man. Nothing else could be expected from the West Coast Sim Racing crew, and you guys put on a heck of a show.
Appreciate that, man, and we can't wait to have you back for next season.
Sounds great, brother. Thank you very much. We'll wrap up the stream. Well, folks, that's going to wrap things up for us here tonight. On behalf of V-Speed, I've been your host, Sagar Bakshi, taking you from green to checker flag, your commentator and producer tonight. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checker flag, but all good things must come to an end, and so shall this. Have a great night, everybody, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.